What's up guys, it is that Panda again. I'm here again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the last video from G2, okay? And it was with, Boone, which is Jade's Legion. And basically what ended up happening is Boone ended up deciding to go for the bottom left corner, which is, the bottom left checkpoint. They ended up pushing for this, they ended up taking it, and then you had Golden and you had Azure, which is, H&B and Lost and all of them kind of tag teaming on this checkpoint. And honestly, this is probably I would honestly consider this the worst situation Boone could have faced. I mean, honestly, Boone still did a good job defending, but I think the overall being able to double rally and stuff is still kind of painful on a checkpoint here. And the fact they weren't able to field control or field fight, and I think there's one big reason for this, and I think this is going to be kind of prevalent as we kind of go into the future with defenses. I think it's going to be much harder for defensive teams to kind of make pushes. And one big reason for this is they're kind of forced to do a better job of filling the checkpoint, right? They have to be way more attentive, meaning that people are way less able to be able to kind of play on the field and be able to group up for big murder ball pushes, unless it's just a vastly superior group that's able to kind of overwhelm their enemy who is pushing them. And in this case, it's one Legion kind of fighting two here on this checkpoint. So even if they do push through, it's going to just be kind of a painful field fight. And overall, maybe not even a worth field fight, right? It's not might not even be worth it. It might just be more worth it holding the checkpoint. Honestly, in any case, it might be better for them to give up the checkpoint and let themselves be sieged on the other side of it. But even then, it's like if you give up the checkpoint and they just decide not to siege you, it's like, what the heck? What the heck was the point of that, right? Because then you're gonna have to go on the offensive, and it's just it's kind of pointless. But honestly, this checkpoint hold was pretty cool. I was kind of surprised to see Lewis put on here for a second. I'm not sure if they just changed it to change the garrison captain, or if they were just trying to hit a bunch of people with AoE. I did notice that when I was going through the reports, whenever they had Peterson and Jacob on the wall, they had some insane AoE shots, just hitting a ton of people who were kind of fighting outside of this. This is honestly, it's really smart to use Jacob if you keep having people kind of rush out and aggro people into kind of attacking. I mean, they use Victor for the majority of the time, but I've seen some of the Jacob reports, and the damage that the people who were kind of field fighting around the checkpoint were taking wasn't significant, but they were losing 100k might per march each time, right? And obviously Jacob's AoE is down to only 3 marches, so if he has 2 rallies sitting, he's only going to be hitting 1 march with AoE, then one straight march. But even then, it's it still is significant. Obviously it does take damage off of the rallies, but I do think the trade-off would be probably worth it, being able to kind of cripple or just slowly tack down troops from the main fighters who are kind of holding you down outside the checkpoint here. In any case, this was a pretty impressive, just overall fight. I liked how they kept trying to chain rally, and what they would do is they would have one rally come in, and I think they kept canceling, not only because they were just kind of hard to hold up, but the counter rallies that kept coming in were just too damn impressive, and they were too damaging, right? You do not want to take on these counter rallies for long, because these counter rallies do work. They're just gonna be milking you for kills. And in any case, to kind of add on to my point, a lot of these marches were just a lot of these rallies were just kind of struggling to kind of hold up or take extremely positive trades. And, like I said, also the counter rallies were kind of a big issue, and they wanted to keep chaining on this checkpoint. I'm not sure if it was just to make sure that the pressure stayed up and they wouldn't be able to kind of get any breather time, or what the case was, right? But they were doing some insane damage here, and they were doing a lot of pressure, and they had to, they made it hard for Boone. And I can tell you from personal experience, that 1 minute of downtime can be the world, you know what I mean? So even having these rallies kind of take a break for a minute, give you enough time to kind of just breathe and be damn, I don't have to keep constantly focusing on the field. That's pretty nice. But these, being able to just having to take chain rallies for hours is so annoying. And I'm sure actually doing the chain rallies is equally as annoying. Actually, I would consider it to be less annoying, being the one on the defensive side, kind of taking on multiple groups is much harder and stuff. And I actually kind of I kind of feel bad for teams that they do. I remember we saw it with Fox and whatnot in I think it was G3 or G4 last time, and they were just taking on chain rallies, and it had to be the most annoying thing ever, because one would cancel the second another rally hit, and they would just kind of take turns at doing a beating on the tower, or in this case doing a beating on the checkpoint. Also, don't know if you guys noticed this. And I don't understand why this is. I'm assuming it's kind of a buggy feature. So from what I understand is, for example, HMB and like, Golden, they have a checkpoint on the top left area, right? So when they do these swarms on, let's say a rally is kind of coming in and it's hitting in the corner. Let's say it's hitting in the corner of the checkpoint. They might come in and they might start swarming that rally, or they might start swarming a solo march. Well, one of those marches end up kind of bugging through the checkpoint, which is really weird. I don't understand how it works, but I guess when they start swarming, it kind of just starts like maybe glitching through it, or just how the marches are kind of aligned. So when you start having this march try to return home, the march starts walking all the way around towards your other checkpoint. And I think that might be a criteria for you to bug through. Maybe you need to have a checkpoint in that way so you can actually return home somehow. And I guess like it ends up bugging you through, and then like those marches just get swarmed down and just beaten to hell. So honestly, I think that's like a big cost as attackers here. It's like the bug in general that you have to face is such a pain. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely a pain. And I was like, that's gotta suck. Like that's gotta really suck. In any case, the battle continues. We're gonna kind of see some more rallies here. This was a really long fight. This was for hours on hours, and maybe like 2, 3 hours of rallying before people kind of gave up. Impressive. The reports here are disgusting. Honestly, way more favorable for I would say Azure. I actually thought they would be. I thought the Azure reports would be much more painful. And this probably can be attributed to the fact that they were doing a lot of like counter damage, because I think if it was just a 1v1 rally the whole time, the reports wouldn't be as favorable as we see them. But since they are like kind of half doing counter damage, half just, I would assume the checkpoint's kind of struggling half the time, you know what I mean? Like to keep completely full, that is maybe their biggest upside. Like, you even see here, right? Like you have two rallies hitting, and being able to just do counter damage instead of being directly targeted by like that Victor or something can be a very big factor. But even then, it's like, it's still hard to trade really well if you don't have insane gear, because you got to consider the people you're fighting have maybe like 4 million, 5 million my armaments, or you maybe have, let's say, 1, 2, 3 million my armaments, and then your parts are vastly inferior. And you also see in the top corner, by the way, you see that top corner in the left where marches just get melted, and you'll see this every once in a while where marches will slip through just because they start, I guess, swarming a rally, or they start like, okay, yeah, did you see that march that just slipped through from Whiskey? That is disgusting, man. It was from swarming that Bella rally, and it's like that little corner right there. You really don't want to be caught there. Oh my gosh, man. I would literally be punching the desk if they kind of screwed me over like that and the bug kind of got me killed like that. Just, I don't know, man. Like kind of a waste of hospital. In any case, this was still just overall a good fight. I don't really have many commentary points to kind of make here. I don't think there was a lot for me to make. You kind of see Lewis put on the wall again. I really don't understand why they were doing Lewis on the wall. I mean, I could understand if they were just trying to do quick damage, or maybe they were trying to hit a lot of AoE marches. I'm not really sure. Or maybe they were swapping out the garrison captains again. I can't really confirm on that. I feel kind of bad doing a video like this. Like, it's literally the same screen for 15 minutes, guys, okay? I sped this thing up like 10 times for most of the video. Like, I don't know if I should just cut out more footage or something. Like, I don't want to like take away any of the footage. I don't know why. It's kind of like a feeling I have, right? Like I get so weirded out like taking away a ton of footage, unless it's like stuff where, for example, if I'm moving around, I don't like it being sped up. So either I'll slow down the footage or I'll cut it out completely, like where I'm moving around a ton, because it starts being really shaky when you have it like sped up. And I don't honestly know what to do when I have so much footage, especially if like I said, just a checkpoint fight. It's literally just a checkpoint fight. I mean, if you're watching this video, it's probably named something about like, big checkpoint fight or something, right? So I mean, you kind of know what you're coming into, but I do feel bad, okay? Like this is supposed to be somewhat entertaining, but the screen is literally on the same point for 15 minutes. All you guys got is these reports and my voice, okay? That's literally all you got here. I mean, if you guys are enjoying, I'm glad, but I don't really have like a lot to say here. I'm kind of lost. Now that I'm lost on like commentary points, I'll just talk about whatever I want, okay? If anybody actually has any video ideas or anything you'd like to see, let me know. I have some videos, right? And so when I have videos, I like kind of am conflicted about. I post them on my memberships tab, and these are like people who just like kind of pay or whatever for the membership thing. And it's kind of like the same as to me as like unlisted, except I just have these videos kind of out there for anybody in the memberships tab. I'm like contemplating if I should post them because I don't know if like they're poorly done, but I have like a video kind of titled like parts or like gear and armaments, gear or armaments, and it's kind of like deciding which is better to spend on. And FYI, I was kind of just talking about like why it's better to kind of split your spending, or if you're investing in general, even if it's not money or it's just time or it's just your gyms, why you should be kind of jumping back and forth, and like kind of how you should determine it off of, if you guys like to see that kind of video. I also was talking a bit about, maybe knowing when to pull out your marches, or, kind of being efficient with like swarming stuff, or just anything of the sort to kind of be like combat ready. Like I understand that there's a lot of people, especially like veteran players, who understand like the common sense of, let's say you're swarming a tower and your marches get halfway down, just recalling those marches, right? And refreshing those marches when they get halfway, because obviously your trades are worse when you're halfway down. There's a lot of newer players, or just people who are even older, who don't understand this. I've had a lot of people I've met, be it in my own alliances or even just in other alliances or across the game, who are older, who have been playing longer, and they just don't understand like these simple concepts. They just play to play. And honestly, I can get down with that. I have this game Overmortal, and just yesterday, okay, I've been playing for months, and I'm a pretty casual player up there. I mean, I am like one of the bigger players, but I'm pretty casual. I don't really log in like crazy. I'm not on all day. But I just learned yesterday that I'd been doing something all wrong. I also learned something like a month or two ago about the techniques that I was doing and why I was doing them all wrong. And I was like, no way. I just wasted like probably hundreds of dollars worth of technique stuff because I was being stupid. I was investing improperly, and that was all on me. But I was just being a little doof and a little goof, and I kind of got to learn from all those mistakes. And it's kind of like the same, like I said yesterday, I've been doing these law things, and these laws kind of make you stronger because they impact your attack, your magic attack, your defense, whatever. And, or even like the amount of speed you're able to kind of, just in general, okay? But I've been doing it wrong because what I do is I level them up like one by one by one by one. So every 10 levels, I level up the next, and I level them in circles, whereas I should have been leveling them up in either levels of 50 or levels of 100 as to progress the fastest. So even people who have no vase, or not a vase, it's like a vessel, which is a thing that you have to spend like 1.4k to reach, and I have that, okay? Even people who don't have a vessel, I've seen some of them, and they have better laws than me. And the vessel helps you speed up like massively. Like it's a massive help at your speed in kind of leveling up your laws. And seeing this hurt my soul. Okay, like it just taught me how many mistakes I was making and how much of a grave I was literally digging myself. I'm such a goof, and I'm such a doof. Like I'm honestly baffled after seeing that, and I was like, man. I know everybody in chat is laughing at me right now, and it's just like these simple type of things that I think people don't understand, or they don't care to understand until someone just tells them, oh, this is something that you can improve on, and I'm always willing to learn, but I'm not like going out of my way digging for this type of information on a game like that where I'm playing more casual. And like I said, there's a lot of people who play this game more casually, and they obviously don't mind playing more efficiently, but they're not going out of their way to kind of look for this information. Whereas I'm a much more, like, I would say, competitive player on Doomsday, right? Like I know a lot more stuff, and I just kind of I like to know a lot more stuff, and I kind of dig for that information. Whereas on this game Overmortal, I don't care as much. Okay, like I don't care as much at being super knowledgeable. I do like to be knowledgeable, but I'm not going out of my way to search for all this information. Okay. I mean, I think I just blabbed about that, but I think that kind of got my point across. I do appreciate you guys, okay? You guys have a great day or night, though. That's really about it to the video. You're just going to have some reports here. You guys can enjoy the reports. I do appreciate you guys, as always, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the little G2 series, okay? I'll be getting around with G1 in no time. So you guys have a great day or night, though, and I'll see you guys in the next video, and that is it. Peace out.